Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Yeah, we're still working our way backwards through the alphabet with Rachmaninoff. Only 2 videos to go. This is the second to last, the penultimate video. The other one may even include some other composers, just to get them out of the way, that sort of thing. But here is our clump du jour, and let's see what we've got here. There's some rather entertaining and interesting things in here, I think. A few rarities, some real rarities, absolutely. This is Symphony No. 2, complete version, on Avi. It was an early Avi release with the Sinfonia Varsovia and Jose Cura. It's really good. It's really a good No. 2. I've saved it all these centuries because it's really good. It was released in 2002. I just can't believe it's so long ago. It blows my mind. It really does. It seems like so recently that these things came out, and so much time has gone by, but it's just blown through like the wind. First-class performance. It really is. It's really surprisingly fine. And here is the Previn No. 2 with the London Symphony Orchestra on the EMI Great Recordings of the Century series. Of course, as I have pointed out, the Great Recording of the Century that should have been on this series was the Tamirkanov Royal Phil one, which the British did their best to pretend didn't exist so that they could praise this. Now, this is very good. It's very, very good. I keep saying, this is not a zero-sum game. Because one is good, the other doesn't have to be lousy. Or you don't have to hate one thing because you like another thing. That's just such a waste of emotional energy, isn't it? So it's a very, very good Rachmaninoff too, but it wasn't as good or as exciting and spontaneous as Tamirkanov. It's just that much, a little bit heavier and not quite as splashily recorded either. But it's good. It's very good. Let's not kid ourselves. Rachmaninoff 2 with The Rock, Russian National Orchestra, Pletnev. Well, some people thought that this was marvelous because Pletnev's conducting. Well, this is very interesting. Where do we start? As a pianist, Pletnev was extraordinarily willful and perverse, and he could be brilliant and thrilling, and he could be just frustrating and irritating, but he was totally egomaniacally individualistic. As a conductor, he became that when he learned how to conduct. Originally, he was very faceless. He really was. And his Tchaikovsky cycles and things, they were like, ugh, they were anonymous. They were like, Chat, GP, AI, artificial intelligence thing was doing them or something. I don't know. Excuse me. And this No. 2, lots of people liked. It's very good in a swift, balletic, impersonal kind of way. I don't know if anybody wants impersonal Rachmaninoff. I really don't. It hasn't worn well. Let's put it that way. When it came out, lots of people liked it. I think I liked it too, if I recall correctly, because it was kind of fresh and different. It was a little bit like Alfred Wallenstein's old recording, the one for Capitol that had the cuts, but it was also very swift and unsentimental. But now it's like, sentiment is nice. Speaking of which, Rozhdestvensky with the London Symphony Orchestra on IMP Classics. Now this one was interesting because, first of all, it's very, very good. It's a traditional heavy-duty Russian performance, but it takes the exposition repeat in the first movement, which makes the whole work about 75 hours long. It's 66 minutes and 13 seconds to get through this thing with all the repeats. It doesn't need all the repeats. It really doesn't. I can deal with the one in the first movement because, the introduction is very long and the differentiation in texture and tone between the introduction and the actual opening of the allegro is not so strong. So if you take the repeat, it tells you where the body of the movement begins, which is, I think, sometimes a good thing, depending on the performance. The repeat, the finale, no way. You got to be kidding. But some people do it. And it's a beautiful performance. It really is. Really kind of fun. London Symphony Orchestra with Rozhdestvensky. Oh, yeah, and this one, No. 2 with David Zinman. He also takes the repeat in the first movement, which makes it 22 minutes long. This is a beautiful performance. Absolutely lovely. It's one of those Telarc things. Remember we talked about like what happened to Telarc? And they had all these Baltimore Symphony Zinman recordings. Some of them were stupendous. This was excellent. Absolutely excellent. First class. A beautiful performance with the vocal he's having with Sylvia McNair, humming and hooting along. A beautiful recording that does not deserve oblivion. Piano Concerto Number 2, Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. Oh, Andrei Gavrilov with the Philadelphia Orchestra and Muti. Again, Gavrilov had a reputation for his kind of a banger, and he could be a little bit insensitive at times, but these are exciting performances, and Muti's just fine, and the slow movement of the second is really very, very rapt. R-A-P-T, not W-R-A-P-P-E-D. It's very meditative. It's 13 minutes long. A little bit. But it's a very good performance. The Paganini Rhapsody is excellent, so that's fun. The recording is sonically, none of those were the best, those Philadelphia EMI things, but it's pretty good. Hey, Finster, it's pretty good. Then we've got these things. Oh, goodness gracious. We're having a cat attack. Yeah, get down. Thank you. That could have been a disaster. As you saw things vibrate as she jumped up on the table here. Hey, how are you? Want to come over here? Want to come say hello? No, probably not. Okay, Piano Concerti 1, 2, 3, 4, and the Paganini Rhapsody with Bernd Glemser and Anthony Witt on Naxos. This is a sleeper Rachmaninoff cycle. It really is. First of all, you have Anthony Witt, who's a marvelous conductor and a wonderful accompanist. The Polish orchestra is first rate, terrific. And Glemser is one of those guys, it's German Rachmaninoff. In other words, it tends to be on the slower side, and Witt is a conductor who tends to prefer measured tempi. So the soloist and the conductor are totally at one, but at the same time, there's no dragging. You saw how this one had a 13-minute and 47-second slow movement. Well, this one in the second piano concerto, this one's 11 minutes and 2 seconds. So they're not wasting time. They're not self-indulgent, but they do allow the music a full measure of opportunity to unfold. And, you might call the approach, deliberate, considered, sober, symphonic, German, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, Polish. But they're good. They're very good. I've kept this for a reason. I like coming back to these performances. They definitely give you a different slant on the music, and a very collaborative one. So they're a joy to listen to. They really are. Then we've got, what's this? Oh, Symphony No. 1 and the Caprice Bohemienne with Alexander Anisimov and the National Symphony Orchestra of Ireland on Naxos. God knows why I hang on to it. I just do. Then we've got, the second symphony with exposition repeat in the first movement, and maybe the finale too. No, I don't think so, but who knows? With Vernon Handley. Yeah, and the Royal Philharmonic, one of those Royal Phil classics. It's always good to hear Vernon Handley in music that was not British. He was a very sensitive conductor, a very good conductor. His nickname was Ted. And so all you people who write comments say, oh, we love Ted. Don't call him Ted. His name was Vernon. And you want to call him Ted if you knew him personally and he was your best friend? Okay, call him Ted. Otherwise, it's Vernon Handley doing a very good job with the Royal Philharmonic, who, of course, did an amazing job under Timirkanov. This is not that amazing, but it's very, very solid. So I hung on to it, and I hung on to it because it's Vernon Handley, and I wanted to hear him do as much as I could because I enjoyed so very much what he did with the British repertoire. And there you have it, my friends, the latest Rachmaninoff. There's only one more Rachmaninoff to go, so hang in there and keep on listening. Thanks for joining me.